I'm gonna make some knot blankets for Christmas. They're seriously easy and it's not hard to find one for whoever you're thinking about. Basically all you need is a pair of scissors and a couple of hours. Maybe not a couple, maybe just one. So you want to get the bottom layer down first and make it as smooth as you can. You want to make sure you pay attention to the pattern on your blanket. This one's fine, but you might have one that has different faces. Then you put the top on, make sure it is lined up as evenly as possible all the way around. You'll have to go around a couple times, stretching it out to make sure it's as flat as possible and that all the edges come out to meet each other. I forgot to record me cutting the last piece, but your next step is to go cut a square out of each of the corners. It doesn't have to be any measurement in particular, just a even square. Don't start cutting the knots until you have cut all of your squares out because it's going to mess with the tension. You'll know what I mean when you start to tie your knots. So you take it at about kind of like the tip of my thumb, I guess. I can't really record myself cutting it to show you what I'm talking about, but you want to pinch like this and use your thumb and this finger to hold the other side of the blanket as you're using your other hand to cut up the blanket. That way you make sure that it stays nice and straight the whole time. Trust me, that comes in handy a lot. So I found that one way that I do it without really thinking is I hold it like this and then I use my ring finger actually. My ring finger and my middle finger pinch that bottom part down, and that makes it easier to make that cut a lot smoother. My grandma taught me how to make these when I was a kid, so I have made quite a few knot blankets in my time. So it took me about an hour, but I did have to take a break. It's kind of hard not to. You want to make sure it's pretty smooth, and there's not a fancy way to tie it. So just take the top one, loop it around the bottom, kind of try to make sure it doesn't go crazy or it's not going to look so good. I kind of just hold the other sides down with my fingers a little bit and then pull pretty tight. It kind of looks better if you pull on these a little bit harder. It stretches them out, and that just kind of, to me, that looks better. And then I'm going to put like that again so that the pattern comes out on top. As a tip, your foot can help you hold it down while you tie the rest of it. I didn't keep track of how long it took to do the knots because I took a break again, so it ended up taking a pretty long time, like another hour. But it's a labor of love. So one last look before I put it up. I really like it. I would probably pick this out for myself, honestly. The best present goes in the bottom. I'm gonna need 2 hands.